Good morning, people. It is Thursday, March 20th, and we are open. Coming off the heels of FOMC JPAL, I am Roy Kent Trades doing this solo today. So we'll see how this goes when everybody shows up. I'll go through my spiel, but gonna be a nice light day. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wacky. We're just gonna try and play a trend and find find anything we can get out of this market. A lot of conflicting reports, a lot of theories out there of what to expect, what not to expect. So we are going to just take it very slowly, one day at a time, and yeah, I'm gonna work it through. So let's start. Let's kind of take a look at ES here at the open. You're getting a push higher right to the 5-day moving average. I can say that freely without my partner yelling at me or rolling his eyes, so that's nice. The push up you get 57.0550. We had a drop down. We are kind of in the middle of our zone here. Not much you can do. Um, if you are playing your zone, the zone is so big this day. It's from 60 to about 80, so almost 80 points in the zone. So, um, what you would want to see is obviously a breakdown below the zone and then a flush down if you're going to play the zone, or a move all the way up 50 plus points to the top of the zone. So, um, some kind of inner zone plays, of course. Then you kind of look at, all right, can we break above VWAP? Can we break above the 200 on this is the 10-minute chart, on the 5-minute chart? Um, hold VWAP, then break up to maybe test the top of the zone. So that could be a potential play. But as you can see, you got dip buyers stepping in and buying here right at the open. Your orb is going to be massive. We still got about 10 more minutes before the orb gets created. So you're just kind of taking it in. Let's take a look at Mag 7. You've got Apple down 0.5%. You've got Nvidia up almost 1%. Nice move up there on Nvidia's retesting 119 area. Microsoft down 0.6%. Google down 0.7%. Amazon down 0.5%, but moving up. Meta up 0.6%. Tesla down 0.8%. And Netflix down 2.6%. TLT is on the move. It is up it's up almost $1, up almost 1%. That has just been trucking up all overnight session. So you've got the JPAL kind of, let's see, where's JPAL? JPAL's right about here. Boom up on him, and then just to slowly tick up all night long. So that is a big move on TLT. Look over to Bitcoin. 85,000 has been reclaimed for now, so we'll take a look. But it did get all the way up to 86,000, came down. So we'll see if it can push higher back up to those highs, intraday highs. Solana back over 130. It's been sitting at 120s all week. Ripple 250. Gold back green 3,041. What a move on gold. We've been watching the show for a while. We've been kind of highlighting what gold could do on its move up, and it has definitely done that. So as we kind of take a look around, you got energy slightly down, financials slightly down, nothing crazy. So you had Micron's up 1.5%, AMD's up 0.5%, SMCI is flat. Let's see, Palantir. Everybody likes Palantir. Slightly down, basically flat. Yeah, so just kind of taking a look, perusing the market. We'll take a look at what ES is doing. So ES is testing that 200 on the fives, having a little bit of trouble. And that does slowly coincide with the 5-day moving average. I don't know if you guys can see that. So that little purple line there, 57.0555. So they are basically right on top of each other. Then we have a couple things. It's March Madness Day for those that celebrate. We've got the brackets coming out, so I may take some time to go over the brackets for fun if I feel like it. If not, we're here to just chill out and watch the market. May have a little bit of dead air, but nothing we can't handle. Looking over at market tide early, you've got calls rising, puts falling. On SPY, you've got holdings, calls rising, puts falling, and then on SPY tide, you've got similar story with puts falling and calls getting momentum. So tide is suggesting you could get a little push up, so maybe a retest 5,700, push higher. I don't know. It is kind of stalling here, so you just got to be mindful, be careful. I'm gonna switch my charts over. Fortunately, guys, I use Top Step X, but I need to see Top Step X and these charts at the same time, so it's hard for me to show you my trade. But if I'm in one, I may pop it over there to show you guys what I'm working with. We've got no viewers, but that's okay. That is okay. Let's see what we got. What do I want to do? Privacy, stream mode, accounting. Save. Yeah, that's what I want. Perfect. All right. So, yeah, so if you're looking for a trade here, you're just kind of seeing how it handles this potential orb high that it's facing near the 200, or sorry, near the 50. This is the 50 on the 5 minute. On the 10 minute, you've got a candle by candle to the upside. So you could see this come all the way back down to 56.99 and then ramp up. So something we'll keep an eye on. As far as data coming out, you do have some data showing up at top of the hour, U.S. existing home sales and U.S. leading into economic indicators. Your jobless claims came in slightly below forecast, but higher than previous. And your Philly Fed manufacturing index came in above forecast at 12.5. Forecast was 9. Previous was 18.1. So you got some somewhat positive data out of the morning data hit. Obviously, all eyes were on FOMC yesterday and Jay Powell and how he was talking. We can go over that in a little bit. We have a little bit more people popping in. Anybody that is here, just say good morning. You can see where you're at, but you're getting that move up off this 10 minute. Still 8 minutes on the candle, but you did get a little wick down to about 57.0250 and a push higher. So you could see some. You want to see some continuation. If I'm looking, basically bounced right off point of control, 57.375. So we're going to keep it light, Dutch. Am trading an XFA that got beaten, battered, and bruised. I took a payout and then had a bad day. Those are the worst. So I'm playing with a very small balance on that one. But nonetheless, can build it back up or could lose it. No problem. I do have 2 combines I passed, so I'm waiting on those when I want to activate those, and then I'll probably reset a combine, two other combines, see if I can get those back and get my full allotment back. You are seeing a push up here, so now you're going to try and break out of this little channel 57.12. So you're at 57.10 right now, but you did push up above the 50-day moving average on the 5-minute chart. Tide is suggesting more upside coming. Puts are falling, calls are rising. You're definitely getting a nice indicators on tide. There's your test at the top of this little kind of mini channel box, if you will. And it looks like it's getting some mojo up to VWAP. So you want to see it break VWAP, but it could come back down and retest this 50 at 5706. So if you're in anything, just be mindful, be cautious that it could do that. And it did not like VWAP to start, got close and a slight rejection, but it never tapped it. So it's still got some wiggle in it if it wants to tap it. And here kind of comes your small push back down. So let's take a look at Tide. Yeah, puts are still falling on SPY. Got now slight uptick in puts here on the general market, slight downtick, but there is your retest of the 50 coming in hot right now. And so what you'd want to see is if any strength comes off this bounce, um, it could be go time. And it did look like it had a little bit of bounce in it. It's got to break this 5710 and see if it gets some continuation on it. Again, Tide is not suggesting any slowdown on a move down. So you are in a good spot there. So just keep an eye on it as it attempts to break out of this little box at 5712. That's really the number, guys. I mean, break 5712, then breaking VWAP, and then you could complete this really big move up to the top of the channel. Massive options expiration tomorrow. So you are in kind of what I like to call shenanigan land. They are going to come and try and take out both calls and puts. You could have seen them possibly taking out some of the calls that were entered in yesterday, this morning, with this kind of gap down move. And now you could see puts starting to cover or shorts starting to cover on the put positions starting to unwind themselves, which could potentially move the market much higher. So we can go over that in a moment, as well as we kind of looking at this is now pushing above the zone and is now going to test. Sorry, this little mini zone, imaginary mini zone I'm kind of drawing. It's now testing VWAP. So what you want to do is break VWAP. And it could run all the way up to maybe like 5720 ish. Reject, come back, retest VWAP, and off it goes up. So, but didn't like the first test of VWAP. We're just gonna sit back and we're gonna watch. I say we, but it's just me. Yeah. Showing some strength though off of that initial selling pressure. So you do have that working for you if you are looking to go long. And we are still 45 points away from the top of the zone. So if you do believe we get back to the top of the zone, 40 points, one MES, if you want to play it with the smallest amount of risk, is what is that? $300, $200? Yeah, about $200, I think. So plenty of life in this move up if it wants to do it. Coming back and retesting kind of that top of these candles, this 12 level, 5712. It did not close and break above VWAP, so that is not a positive sign. Still got 2 minutes left on this candle, and so now you are breaking back below the level here. So this candle's turning ugly. We go to the 10-minute chart, not so ugly, right? You've got a really beautiful candle by candle to the upside, came back, tested just a little bit of the body, pushed higher, and now rejected VWAP as we had previously mentioned. So you want to see a little bit more A little bit more upward push. I mean, it is holding 57.10 right now, 57.11. Take a look at tide. General market tide, you got puts kind of slightly ticking up, calls slightly ticking down, and SPY tide, you got puts starting to creep up again. So that move up could actually get faded here if those puts continue to get momentum. So keeping an eye. 57.10 seems to be an important one as we just hang out. Mag 7, which I mean, just like with anything, you start to see mags these names that are red start to turn green. That's really going to give the market a lot of confidence. Um, so there's, like I said, if this thing wants to move up, there is a lot of room to do it and still be within a zone, a trading zone. But it's got to have a leader. Who's going to be the leader? So far, it's Nvidia. So far, it's Meta. Meta's absolutely ripping. 594. Wow, what a drop. Nvidia 118.80 got up to 119 area near its 20-day moving average. Kind of faltered on us. So getting this move back up to VWAP on ES. And we just keep rising up. Puts are rising. Volume is declining on the positive side. So this move up is kind of met with a little bit of grain of salt. But again, you break VWAP, you push up, you're going to test the 200 on the 10 minute. You're going to test. You're above the 50 on the 5 minute. So it's really about just how does it want to break this VWAP? Does it want to, or does it want to sit back? So we will see. Good morning. How you doing, Howie? Let's talk about the 5-day SMA and anchored ES overnight. Yeah, so you got the 5-day moving average right here pushing up with the market. Again, I can say that without getting eyes rolled. I know right now, just randomly, Monty has heartburn. He doesn't know why, but it's because his channel's talking about the 5-day moving average. The 57.07.65 push up, pushing higher. You've got this VWAP test. So now that I got somebody here with me, good morning, Monty, or Howie, sorry. Old habits die hard. I'm taking a look at the options chain open interest for SPY for tomorrow, so March 21st, 2021. The thing that's very, very interesting for me here is how many calls and puts go in the money and how many go out of the money. And if you can see, this is the call strike. So we're going to look at this column, open interest. I know it's going to be hard to read, but this blue and green is where the price changes, or is where the price is at. So this is out of the money. We've got 19,000. We've got 57,000 at 570. We've got 33,000 at 575, and then 77,000 at 580. This is the call side. What gets interesting is when you go down to the put side. So remember, green is in the money, blue is out of the money. So all of us, or sorry, is that right? Yes, puts. So your 550 put, 107,000, that's out of the money. 560, 100,000, that's out of the money. So those will expire worthless if we keep this price. But if you look down here, you've got, 56,000, 99,573, 59,570, 57,571. But here's the big one, 123,000 at 580. So if you want max pain for the most options holders, you've got to push this thing up to 580 by tomorrow's close and get it above 580. And you will have all of these puts will expire worthless. And if you look below, there's hardly any open interest here on the puts. And then from the call side, your risk is all of these get in the money, but the amount is way more skewed to the put side. So to me, the technicals on the chart suggest to move up. The fundamentals with JPOW and QT suggest to move up, and the mechanicals with that open interest on SPY for the big options expiration for tomorrow suggests a move up. So take that for what you will. I am looking for a little bit stronger move to the upside. If we go to SPY, and we are getting a little move here, SPY's at 566. So 580 is a huge move, but you've got the 20-day moving average at 575, which obviously we'll need to get through. And we go to more of a kind of a zoomed out chart on the daily. I drew Fibonacci's from the high to the recent low, and right here in the middle, this 573 area, which had a lot of open interest, sparked my attention. So again, break above the 200-day moving average, which is at 568.95. You could see a move quickly to 573, battle here, and then another push up to 580, and then probably close at the 50 line at 581 would be a market maker's dream. That would make all those puts expire worthless. Howie, that's good info. Thursday AM after FMC uses sets tone for the rest of the week. I agree. Yeah, a lot of your institutions get in now. They don't get in right after he's done talking. They process what he says. They talk. They figure it out. And I think that you're going to see good. You're going to see shenanigans. You're going to see wild swings up and down, clear out the deck, right? We got down this morning. That was not expected from a lot of people. They thought we were bullish. We were ready to go. We were going to push higher. So you do get those surprises. And you have the wild card with Trump. So Trump will talk. He will say some things. We don't know what he will say. We don't know how the market will react to it. But we do know he will talk. So how the market wants to handle that is up to the market. But from the mechanical side, they profit a lot if they can push this thing higher. So may take us all day, may have some scars at the end of it, but should be what we're looking out for. And if we look at the market time, we got a little push up in puts now, a little drop in call premiums. Similar story on SPY. Your volume's still elevated to the positive side. So you're getting a little bit of a pullback here. But honestly, for ES, not much. You're battling the 200, which we expect some sort of posturing there at the 10-minute 200. Here we had beautiful 5-minute candle come back, retest VWAP, and has created this wick. So if you can get some continuation up here, next level up is about 6 points away at 57.26. And we just keep on riding it up. And again, you're gonna have swings, you're gonna have ups and downs, you're gonna have wild things, but from a zoomed out view, you can call it bias, you can call it whatever you want. That's what the data is suggesting to me. So what do? Right? Do you just buy a few MES, let it ride, and if you get stopped out, you get stopped out? Sure, you could do that. You could play the chart right here. You've got to move off of VWAP. Could have played this retest and hold, push higher, and yeah, it's a keep it light, right? Don't over leverage yourself, but play a move. Just took along a 5-day. Beautiful. I'm gonna screenshot this and send it to Monty so he knows what we're really talking about. Yeah, so cool. Enjoy your sightseeing. You've got your play in, and that's what it's all about, guys. He's got his wrist set. He's got his parameters there, and so we're just gonna see if the trade works out. He's made an educated move, and I agree. I'm in an MES long. I took it at right when we broke above this 12 kind of level. I said we came back and kind of wicked down here and bounced. So I took it. My average isn't the best. It's not bad, 57.12, but this poor account has it had $30 balance in it, and it now is at 104. So I had taken a few small trades before this to be up like 18 bucks. This particular trade is up $56 on one MES. Unfortunately, I can't scale up anymore on this particular account. So I'm just kind of letting it ride. And so now this will be a winning trade no matter what for me. And I will push up my stop and see if we can't get a little $200 day off this account and let it breathe some life again. But I'm not in a hurry to close my position, to be honest. I'm gonna put a stop at probably 57.21 right now, just to lock in at least about $45, and I'll just keep kind of trailing it up if we decide to move up. And as you can see, we are indeed moving up. To the top of the zone, you still got about 45 points. Am I doing that right? No, 58. So about 35, 32, 33 more points. You are battling the 200 now on the 5. We know that is a level that tends to get some attention, but just plopping, battling right through it. We'll see how it goes as we continue to just monitor the marks. Have a good weekend, Howie. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to keep an eye on the market for us. You got puts kind of trailing down. You got calls trending up. Market trending up. Things are good. I'll move my stop to 50 here. We're currently at 85 on this trade on one MES. Lord have mercy. All right. Moving up. Let's see if I can move this up to 65. So I have moved it up slightly below the 200 here. So if we break below the 200, I'll have it. And there's a big move up to 32, 57.32 as we continue up. Why don't I have like 19 of these MES? We're going to move this up. We're going to guarantee $100 on this one MES trade. So the stop is at 57.32. See if I can throw it over here so you guys can see. So you guys see 57.32. My stop's here on the DOM. So balance is at 169, and it's probably going to come down and stop me out. But $100 on one MES when I had a $30 balance, I can't get upset with that. So we keep pushing higher. I've just got my stop. I've got my take profit at the high yesterday, which I don't anticipate us getting up there in one fell swoop. But if we do, I'm there to take it. And yeah, you're seeing some calmness push on here. So you're probably gonna see it come down, take me out, which is fine. Again, $100 on a one MES is pretty hilarious, to be honest. But that does allow me to get a little bit. If I wanted to enter two MES next time, I can do so. So I'm pushing higher. We're at 132 now on balance. I mean, we're just trucking now. 57.40. It is a strong move. Look at Mag 7. Green. Slightly flat, almost green. Google, slightly flat, almost green. Amazon, green. Meta, green. Tesla, slightly flat, almost green. Now green. Netflix. I mean, so Mag 7 is now turned what you would want it to. ES 57.40. We're now pushing higher. Probably looking at the top of that zone at 57.58. The problem is we've gotten there pretty quickly. So you're gonna get some reaction. Probably gonna get a little bit of pullback here. So if I was to flip back over to my trade, how do I want to do it? So I'm gonna move my stop up to guarantee 121 on this trade. Most likely it's going to come back and take me here, which I'm okay with. That's why I moved my stop. And we've broken up about 57.40. It's pushing higher now. I mean, 160 on the trade, 57.44. It's coming back. It's probably going to come back and get me. And if it does come back and get me that rapidly, you want to just kind of take it a minute, let it make sure it's got a breather in it, and see what we can do from there. But it is holding above 57.40 for right now. It- yeah, you're getting puts rising, calls. Sorry, puts dropping, calls rising. You got volume sticking up. You've got similar situation on SPY holdings. You've got just a nice meat stick. My gracious. That is a prescription filled meat stick. So you've got a lot of momentum to the upside here. Nobody's listening, so I can be a little bit more vulgar, I guess. Let's see what's going on with everything else. Oh, I am pretty tickled at this move up, to be honest. One MES. Yeah, you're starting to see where do we get to? 44.25. So it's at 140 now. 145 is the trade. My stop's at 121. So 57.36. I think it's going to come back and hit me. It got a little bit overheated on that move up, which is fine. If it doesn't, that also is fine. But 57.38, 2 points away. It'll come and get me here in a minute. Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun dun. No? Still battling? Still battling? Holding above it. If it can break back up at 57.40, I got a shot to stay in the trade. Finding buyers here. Finding buyers. 57.40. Come on. Back above. All right. Let's see. I tend to do that as like a nervous tick. I just do like random noises. 57.41.25. Let's go. Still in the trade. Get us back up to that top of the zone. 57.58.18. For all -1 of you that watched, we did mention, right? We went through the option chain. We did say what we were thinking. Pushed a push up higher made sense from a market maker standpoint, from a mechanical standpoint. So we took advantage of that. I'm in SPY options offline, off stream. Fortunately, I didn't have any other accounts to really mess with on Top Step because I just passed 2 combines. But I am in my one XFA, little engine that could. Is up 155 on this trade, 161. We're now pushing to the recent high of the last candle. So if it can break out above that, we may be on our way to the top of the zone. Top of the zone. And if we were in one ES, we would be up $1,500 on this trade. Man, that would have cleaned up a lot. Balance is now above 200. Man, that's tough to not take. That is tough to not take. Coming down a little bit. Let's see if it can keep pushing, though. I mean, it didn't stop me out. It is It's showing some momentum up here. But it's stalling. Look at that volume. Man, that was that was amazing. Broke the 200 and just went for it. 5-minute chart. Let's take a look at Mag 7. We got Mag 7, got Apple pushing higher, got Nvidia kind of chopping, potential bull flag, Microsoft pushing higher. Google looks like it wants to go higher. Amazon definitely wants to go higher. Meta 600. Could Amazon see 200 tomorrow? Could see 200 today. Tesla. A lot of drama behind Tesla, but it is green. Netflix. Well, flat. TLT coming down a little bit. That's not a good look. 91.87. Bitcoin back above 85,000 still. 86,000. Solana 131. Gold basically just chopping. 3,040. Micron up 2%. Good for Micron. Palantir up 1%. AMD is green. My God. MicroStrategy. What are we looking at? Berkshire for all you big guns. 57.42. What do we get to? 57.46.75. So still got my stop at 57.36. I probably should move that up, but I think I get 10 more bucks out of it. What's 10 more dollars? We'll move it up. 57.38. So we're guaranteed $131 on this trade. One MES as we battle 57.40 here. It's going to come down and take me out here, which is fine. Can't get mad at it. 57.40 continues to be kind of that magnet area up here. So I would anticipate a little bit of a move down, potentially down to 57.31. Retest that. Oh, just took me out. 57.38. So grand total on the trade is 130. On the day, I'm up $149. Balance is at 181. Whew. 50 bucks away from a $200 day. We're going to take a break here. We're going to see what this thing does. You could have a potential kind of handle for him, so it could come all the way back down. Maybe retest the 8 at 57.27. Maybe comes and holds, 57.30 area. Or it could just wick off, take my stop out, and move on up. Which looks like it did. Had I kept my original stop, it'd still be in the trade. So that's not fun. That's why you don't do anything. Puts rising. They're back above the premium line, zero premium line. Again, you are still about 15 points away from the top of the zone here. But that was a move, so you'd expect it to calm down a little bit. Ideally, this is a 5-minute chart. You come back, you retest those 200. Come back, retest the 550 on the 10. Hold, push up. Kind of clean up some of the technicals here, but yeah, what a recovery from here from the open. I mean, just straight buying. Insights tweet. Today's announced existing home sales in PTC. Yeah, let's see what we got. Existing home sales. Let me flip it over here. What we got? I didn't even look at the data, to be honest. I was so enamored by the entire push up. I was just put the data on the calendar so everybody can see it. All right, so we have an increase in home sales of 4.26 million compared to the forecast 3.95 million. So homes are selling. U.S. leading index change was, let me get my, so the home sales change was 4%. Forecast was negative 3%. Previous was negative 4.49%. That suggests to me that the economy is not as weak as everybody has kind of feared. The data continues to show that the economy keeps holding up despite what the anticipation is showing up for there. U.S. leading index was slightly down 0.3%. Forecast or negative 0.3%. Forecast was negative 0.2%. Again, not really much to matter at that point, but I think you're getting a little bit of a Again, with the data you got from JPal yesterday that QT is starting to slow, that opens up the door to QE potentially starting, right? You can't do QT and QE at the same time. So, what does that mean? Well, that means that maybe you're not going to get rate cuts as the form of stimulus. Maybe you're going to get stimulus in the form of quantitative tightening tapering, so slowing that down. Opportunity for QE to be present if the economy needs it. So, right now, J Powell's only tool that he can really use is cut rates, cut rates, cut rates. Well, if he's not that confident that inflation is going to kind of is going to go back down to 2% in a rapid pace, and the economic projections suggest that they are not confident in that, regardless of what he said yesterday. You've got to do it some other way, and so how you do it is you create potential stimulus by just slowing down your asset selling purchases and then create the illusion that you can use QE when you're ready to go. So, if the economy needs it, the tool is then ready to be deployed where it needs to. Going back to this home sales data, it suggests that he can hold back. He doesn't have to do anything major as far as rate cuts or anything like that. He can just sit back, continue to slowly taper the balance sheet, and open up that tool if needed without having to be kind of the major player in the economy, if you will. Trump's tariffs and things like that are going to be the big thing that make people worried. So the Fed is just trying to kind of say, all right, we're going to sit back, we're going to wait and see, we're going to see how it goes. And your other question was BTC. So with Bitcoin, also obviously a risk on asset. Well, in an environment with high interest rates and kind of a more hawkish Fed, risk on assets get hurt, including Bitcoin, things like that. Now, the argument here is Bitcoin a digital gold? Potentially, it could be a value store of currency, but it seems to be a bit too volatile to be just that for now. So you have to assume that it follows more of the IWM road. And if you put IWM and Bitcoin together, they tend to move very similar in their day-to-day activities. I'm getting a little push up here. I'm trying to see if I want to push back in. Market tide's pushing up, calls pushing up, puts pushing down. Call put slowly dipping, call slowly rising. Nice wick here on the 10-minute. Let's see what the 5-minute's showing. Got an engulfing, potentially not really an engulfing, but that's a tough one. Could hit the top of the zone here in about 13 points. Man, that wick down recovery is pretty good. Technical is still pretty overheated. I'm gonna hold off. Your volume on the sell didn't meet the volume of the buys. This volume is increasing rapidly. You got 3 minutes on this candle still, and it looks like it's going to be above the previous. So you are breaking above the Bollinger Band. Your VWAP is trending up. Your 50 is trending up. Your 200 is trending up. Hey, Axel, no problem. I appreciate you joining. If you have any more questions, just pop me up. Wow, this thing's moving. 57.50. Looks like we're headed to the top of the zone, boys. 57.58.25. Axel, do you play options at all? SPY options. I don't know if you watched me the earlier part of the stream. If you didn't, show me a comment and let me know. Because if you do, there's some interesting insights from the options chain that I'd like to show. For now, we're just going to keep an eye on this, see if this candle comes up. But I didn't really answer your question on Bitcoin. So you've got Bitcoin, you got to look at a longer term time frame. This 4-hour chart, right? Super bullish off of JPal, pushes up, but look at that right above us. These 200 moving averages. If you don't have them on your charts for all time frames, please add them. They're very good. You see reactions at them all the time. You've got this yellow line is the 20-day moving average. So you've reclaimed that, you came back, retested it, and now you're bouncing off of it. Your 5-day moving average is moving up. So 5 day historically, weekly, a week, 1 week average, 20 day, a 1 month average, in the stock world because they trade 5 days a week. In crypto world, they trade obviously 7 days a week. So not as strong, but the indicators are the indicators. Um, yeah, so we're just trying to follow this stuff. Let's see what we got. So actually doing everything trading. I'm trying out TV paper trading account. Made about $10. Awesome, dude. Yeah. Um, look, that's the best way to go. It's paper trade. Learn small. Don't do anything drastic. All these people on YouTube or Twitter X, whatever you want to call it, they have big gains. They are a lot of them are legit traders, very good traders, but don't get caught up in any of that noise. $10 is awesome. Paper trading, $10 is awesome. Learning is awesome. Don't ever let anybody make you feel like you're too small or too bad. And yeah, I mean, learning. If here in this channel we follow mainly futures, like we do the prop trading futures. It's the best value for your trade, in my opinion. Um, we go through prop firms, Top Step, Take Profit Trader, things like that. But yeah, we follow S&P 500, Nasdaq 100, Russell. Okay, cool. So you're well equipped to what's going on in the world. Following those, you know what's going on. Um, a lot of those, oil and gold, especially. Well, I guess S&P 500 as well. Follow fundamental events. So the fundamental events are like news events, things like that. So you have to really be careful of like the data releases and things like that. As you know, as you had mentioned, how the existing home sales come up. So you've yeah, you got plenty to learn, plenty of resources out there. We will be happy to help you. Monty's normally on the stream with me. We stream together. He's on vacation today, so if you have any questions, just post it to us on here. We can answer your questions, no matter how basic or how small they are. We try to keep things going. Move it. We may move a little fast, especially if an event's happening. Um, but right now, you're getting a little bit of static. Ugh. That 4 hour chart looks like it wants to boogie on the ES. So this is the S&P 500 ES futures. You can see we had a downtrend here on the 4 hour, uptrend, but look at this wick, right? So this is the wick that we just had off the open, and that right there shows you we've got a lot of upward momentum that could still happen. Um, yeah, we're kind of like a little stagnant area right now, so we're just gonna sit tight. I almost rushed into a long, but wasn't really anything telling me to do it outside of maybe this wick. So I'd like to see a retest of this area down here, this 200-day moving average before I re-enter. We take a look at the market tide. This is the options flow for all of the general market. So you see in this green line is your calls. This yellow line is the price of the S&P 500. You can see it kind of dipping down. Your puts, this is your put premium. So people buying puts. You see this little uptick though. This little downtick. This volume here is way green, but you're getting a little bit of cool off. So you just got to keep an eye on that for as fast as we trade. Similar story here on this is the actual SPY, and this is all the stocks inside the SPY. So holdings, these are all the individual stocks of the S&P 500 companies. This is the SPY ETF, and this is the options flow for that. Again, getting a little wick up, push higher here. Kind of want to push. I'm thinking to wait. VIX, ugly, just ugly. Started 21, dropped now below 20, dropped below 1950. So 1948. So we got a couple people in here now. If you want to say hello, say hello. If not, no big deal. Coin, on the Bitcoin side of things, I always follow Coin, the blue chip exchange. So 192. Nice push up on Coin. Crypto in itself is in an interesting spot. I mean, there's a little bit of hype with this Trump speaking at these random kind of digital asset conferences and things like that, but it's going to need a spark. Good morning, Blue Dogs. Crypto's gonna need a spark of some kind. Not sure what it is just yet, but they'll find a reason. And if you look at this cup is about to close. We're pushing up to the top of the zone, about 6 points away. I could chase it for 6 points, but I'm gonna just hold back. I missed my move. Probably should have taken it on this dip down to 43, and then it's seeing that wick form would have been a nice opportunity. But yeah, nice push up to the top of the zone. Absolutely beautiful right out the open. I mean, they came in, took that dip, and just devoured it. All of Mag 7 is now green. Apple up 1%, Nvidia up 1.2%, Microsoft up 0.8%, Google now up 0.7%, Amazon up 1.3%, 198 on Amazon. Looks like it's going to try into that 200 later. 605 on Meta. That was down to 578. 578 this morning. Now 605 up 3.6%. Tesla's even green 0.3%. Netflix is green 0.65%. TLT is maintaining its green, but some nasty wicks up here. It could drop. These are the bonds, so you got to keep an eye on this. This is basically a risk off. This is your opposite of Bitcoin. Bitcoin still red on the day, but coming back 0.6%. Solana 2.7% down, but pushing higher 131.71. You've got gold now went green, basically chopping around, holding that 30,040 though. That is just gigantic move. If you don't know gold, I mean, just this move is just insanity on gold. If you zoom out, I mean, we're talking since me and Monty were trading it way back before it was 2000 and it was 2100 a year ago. And now you're up almost 50% on gold. You're up almost 30% since what is that? November, the election. I mean, just a nice move up. Had a dip buy opportunity and keep pushing up. SPX, ooh, important. Up 50, up to 5,700 now. Psychological number. This is a 10-minute chart on SPX. High here is 57.15. So it looks like it wants to get up there. It wants to boogie. And ES 57.54. Getting up to the top of our zone. And how we drew the zone is the pre-market high, the pre-market low. We had this huge sell-off for various reasons. A lot of data out of Europe caused this sell-off. Kind of formed a pretty convincing H pattern here on the 10-minute. But then the open brought the volume, and the volume said, up we go. So they bought the dip. So what you want to see now is we've got this yesterday high marked out up here, which is now just about 10 points away. Earlier in the stream, it was about 100 points away. Now you're trying to see is a break out of the top of the zone, come back, retest it, and then a push higher. You could get an actual push way up above SPY, which see SPY 570 now, testing now, could get all the way up to maybe 573 off that drop. Best win and worst loss. Oh Lord. So I made a lot of money during the SPAC era, the 2020, and lost a lot of money during the end of the SPAC era because the noise moved. So my biggest win was in SPACs. I think it was Hyliion, maybe was my biggest, or Romeo, one of those two. I think it was Hyliion. And then my worst loss was NGA LEV. My best percentage gain, I think, will always be in some form of crypto. You know, you can easily, not easily, but if you got in early enough, 10x, 15x, 20x investments. But overall, I don't like kind of showing off anything like that. I just kind of teach it as learning lessons because what worked last 5 years ago, 1 year ago, 2 years ago doesn't necessarily work now. It can. I have found the most consistency it can is in this futures market with the S&P 500 and stuff like that. So you can use technical indicators and day trading and keep going. But as far as like swing trading and things like that, that's just like an ever changing process for me. So how has my strategy matured? So it's a good question. The the thing you have to deal with trading is, and everybody likes to show their P&L online and show their wins, and the honest ones will show their losses. You have to know what kind of trader you want to be. You want to be a day trader? That's basically what this stream is about. We're trading within minutes. We're in and out of stuff. Could be seconds. Swing traders, that's where you're overnight holding positions, going through it. And then long term investors, where they're just basically dollar cost averaging into a company they believe in or a crypto they believe, and they just let it go. Their intention is to not sell. I think in my experience, to truly be successful at this stuff, you got to be a little bit of all three of those. So your long-term investing, your retirement, your stuff like that, you should be pushing money to the side to do that. Your swing trading, um, that's where you can get a little bit in trouble because you can tend to convince yourself that a play is correct and you hold longer and you may be going with bigger size and things like that. But overnight trading is definitely way more risky. But you know, holding for months at a time, that's still considered swing trading. That's not long term trading. And then your day trading, right? So how do I approach this? I'm trying to make a certain salary with my day trading, right? So just when I started out, some of the best advice I got was try to pay one bill a month with your day trading or with your trading in general. So if you want to pay your cell phone bill or you want to pay, rent or something like that, or maybe a smaller bill than rent, but try and pay a bill with your trading because you're still going to work, you're still going to do your full time thing. You got to see if you can do it. So if you can go every month and say, man, my cell phone's covered by my trading, that's a good feeling. And then you can up it, right? A car payment or whatever, or multiple bills. So that's what I try and do with day trading. So day trading is there to cover all my expenses, all my bills. Swing trading is there to build wealth, and then obviously long term investing is to try and build some sort of retirement down the road. So how has my strategy matured? Well, each one of those pockets of the day trading, swing trading, long-term investment trading, that the strategy has to evolve. It doesn't actually mature. It matures in like your risk parameters and how you handle things, but it has to constantly be evolving. So this stream, me and Monty have been doing it, I don't know, 6, 8 months, I don't know, something like that. And we've gone through so many different strategies just because the market has changed its music. Um, we've recently had to scale down because the moves have been so massive that if we were in our regular size positions, we were getting stopped out constantly. But the biggest thing that we found is you just got to control your emotions, and we still struggle with that at times, right? He went on tilt a couple weeks ago. I went on tilt on Tuesday, um, and wrecked a couple months of work, all because I couldn't control my emotions. So it's part of the game, but I think the biggest thing you'll find as you enter this is trading is nothing more than a self-reflection process. You will learn more about yourself during this process than you will with anything else. And so nobody can really come in and tell you this is how you will be successful trading outside of saying you've got to master your own emotions because some people can handle losing better than others, and if you've got to be able to find ways to control that. And I think that would be how my strategy has matured is I don't necessarily beat myself up as much when I do have a bad day, that I can just shake it off and come back to the next day and say, oh, there's always an opportunity to do better. The loss is the loss. I can't replace that loss. I can't, if I chase the loss, I'm going to end up losing twice as much as I normally would if I had a bad day. So just try and stay grounded and try and push it forward. Actual trading strategies, there's endless. Maple Stacks Trading is a very good resource online. He has a lot of good strategies, a lot of and free. He's one of the ones that I find really, really good. Another one, Adam Mancini, who actually I have his Twitter up because I was going to share what his suggestions of his levels were. Um, he's a futures trader that does a great job of kind of describing supports and rallies. He has a lot of good positive messages for traders as well. Don't try and predict, wait for your move, wait for the setups type message. And then for like more fundamental stuff, like long term stuff, I found the Crumbs man, Chem Kason, who's on CNBC sometimes, but very, very good options flow volatility trader. Um, he's given really good insights of what to look for and very, very knowledgeable guy. So um, I didn't think I answered your question. I went on a little bit of rant, but it's only me talking, so that's what I do. Um, but yeah, if anything, find somebody you trust, find somebody that's genuine and that's real. Pay for nothing as far as advice from anyone right now. Just try and get keywords, look them up on YouTube, learn it yourself. Don't pay somebody to tell you the answer because you're never going to learn that way. That's going to be a really bit difficult to to bounce off of. Um, yeah, I think we're taking a look at things, and oh, I forgot to do my superstitious thing. Hold on, I would send a message to somebody before the day starts. All right, there we go. Got that out of the way. Let's see. I'm going through some messages, so maybe a little quiet here. Sorry, guys. If you have any questions, positive. Appreciate it, Axel. Appreciate you joining us. Hope to see you next time. If you have any questions, we're here Monday through Thursday, trading away here in the mornings, right near the open of the general market. So let us know. Said this. All right, let's do a stop. Okay, good to go. I put a stop in for my calls. So I'm in spy calls. Put a stop just in case we want to nuke. I'm gonna lock in some profit and always re-enter from there. Um, the fear here that I have is that, as you see, we tested the top of the zone, couldn't quite get there. Now we've come back. We've tested the 8. And we're pushing up. Man, that's a good chart. But look at all these green candles. Wow. It's just tough to enter a position up here with that history, but I mean, it is. There's nothing suggesting that this thing is going to slow. So just break above the zone, come back, retest it. We can enter along to try and test that 570 area. Or 57, it's 570, 5770. I think it is 570 on SPY, to be honest. 572 on SPY. So we are at 570 here. So this is how I would have drawn my zone. So I start here, and this is at 440 this morning on SPY, and then I go down to this low candle here, and this basically the shaded area, and that's your zone. So if we kind of go back and play what was the zone here, yesterday's a bit hard because it was a fundamental event. Let's go back to like Friday. So Friday, you would take this. So your low was there, your high was there. As you can see, we open up, we break out, we come back, we test the top of the zone, broke below VWAP. So these are still no trades. I mean, I guess you could trade that break. Then you came back, failed, came back in, pushed up, failed, retest, and kind of hung on the top of the zone. And you could have taken a long at this candle here, this wick into the zone, and just put your stop at the bottom of this candle, and it would have worked out. Um, well, you can say, well, of course you can see it worked out because of the candles, but why did we wouldn't have taken it here because you never got a close above the zone when you broke back out. I mean, you did here, but yeah, you would have taken that this red candle back to the top of the zone would have stopped you out. So you would have gotten caught here, even though that's a pretty bullish candle. That would have got me. Is that data though? No, it's not data. Going down, pushed up. So didn't work here. Did work here. You would have made more than enough to push it up. And then how you trade it, how you're supposed to trade it. This is very hard to do. Is basically one candle at a time. So once this candle closes, you put the stop at the bottom of this candle. Once this candle closes, you put the stop at the bottom of this candle. Then just keep doing that as each candle. And then you eventually get stopped out right about here. So you can ride the wave, if you will. And we are back to the top of this zone. It's battling, right? You're not getting a convincing break out of it yet. So you just got to chill. You just got to hang out. Um, and wait for that moment. I've been streaming about an hour now. That's cool. We got one guy left, whoever you are. Good morning. Appreciate all the insights today and all the people asking questions. I am yeah, it's no real trade here, so it can get a little boring, but this is a part of trading is just waiting, waiting and waiting and waiting. And as we take a look around, market tide, still got calls kind of grinding up here. Puts just hovering that zero line. Yeah, you're just not getting much convincing moves either way. Maybe I should move my stop up. Move it up to 5. We'll do a trail stop. I always love trail stops. We'll do a trail stop of 50 cents. I'm going to regret this, but I think that's more fun. Let's do that. Pushing back up to the top of the zone. I thought we were going to get a red candle there. We did not. That's on the 10-minute. I assume we did on the 5. Yeah, got one there. So every red candle's been gobbled up pretty quickly. Now we are breaking out above the zone. It could be a good moment here. And my spy call is up 50%. So that's pretty cool. All right. We can ride with that. We're going to break out above here. So now you want to look in 57, 58, 50, see if it can retest and hold. And here comes the retest. Maybe. Here comes the retest. Look at that all green Mag 7. Just a beaut. Just a beaut. SPY now above 570. And so I would anticipate it coming back a little bit, but it's not. It's holding above it so far on this candle. Still a lot of time on the candle. 6:30. We're gonna switch over to the 5 minute candle. Um, got about 90 seconds left on this. Is it pushing higher? You're 7 points away from the high of yesterday. Wow, what a recovery! What a recovery! Now, if you do get that retest of 58.50, you got to be careful because that's now like 6 points away. So if it rapidly comes back and retests it, it could break down and get to 57.50 pretty quick with the test of the 8. So you can't just put a buy order there. You gotta wait and see what it does. And so as you see, it coming down a little bit. If it can hold up here, we got 30 seconds left on this candle. If it can hold up here, and again, just kind of slowly come down, kind of grind around it, pop up. That would be the anticipation move. I got stopped out 57.36, 38. Sorry, so that was 30 or 24 points ago. That would have been another 120. So it would have doubled my profit. So I'd actually be at 250 on one MES. Man, man. And if it was an ES, it'd be $2,500. 57.63, just at the top here. Do. 'Don't know what to do. Don't know what to do. Actually, I know what to do. I just gotta wait and get my retest that I want. Awesome. $57.62.25. I'm gonna regret not getting in this, but that's all right. Calls are pushing higher, puts slightly uptick, but you're starting to get this next kind of leg, if you will, move. Yeah, puts are rising a little bit. Calls are static on SPY. So I'm just waiting on this breather, and it has not come. Came back here, took me out, and then ripped higher. On a dead air. Apologize about that. It's 57.63. We just wait. Island time. Then we're trying to understand what's 57.64. I mean, super bullish look, but it does have that kind of headwind up here. If you're wondering why we put that line there, is the top of yesterday's press conference. So JPAL talked there, and then it rejected. Historically, let's go to the 4 hours, see where this line lines up. So let me go over. Historically, you see here, this is the line here. Support, support, broke down, support. And when it finally broke, it broke hard. Coming back over here. Yeah, we haven't been this low in a while, so this is just a fairly new line, but this is the stick right here. This is the opening drop and then recovery. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. Oh, did it move? Yeah, it did. 750. So pushing new highs right now on this open session. Um, you are getting extended though, so you just gotta be careful. These upper wicks suggest that it needs a cool a hair, and that we could get this 5850 retest. Um, yeah, yeah. There's a video Trump recording announced. About that this morning. Yeah, here's your retest at the top of the zone. We'll see what it does. And this could be the moment where it cools off a little bit, comes all the way down to maybe the top of that Bollinger Band here. The 8 is currently sitting at 57.53, so it could come down to that. Oh, where are my 8? Why are my 8s not on? Oh, I'm a ripster clouds. No wonder. Let's see, we kind of wicked off of that cloud and right back above the zone. That's a good sign so far. We are still 3 minutes 40 seconds in this candle, so you don't want to rush into anything just yet. But we did get that retest at the top of the zone. That's why we weren't really in a hurry to chase that move up, because you had an opportunity to just wait it out and have it test the zone and see how it reacts. If you would have entered up there in the 63, 64 range, even 62, you're down, not terribly down, but you're down a couple points. And if you're oversized, that can be devastating. So 57, 58.50, that's our spot. And that's what we're watching. That's what we're watching. And SPY 570 is right here as well. So again, you're going to get a little bit of reaction. That was a major move. From top to bottom, you're talking 80 points. 80 points in less than 90 minutes. That'll rearrange some accounts for sure, both good and bad. So, and this is why we wait for the candle to close. So you have 57.50 right now. 58.50 was the top of the zone. You're retesting kind of this 8 cloud. It's a wide cloud, that ripster cloud for the 8, because the move has been so strong. So what that tells you is there's a lot for it to get down if it needs to break through there. There's a lot of support sitting there. The top of the Bollinger Band is 57.51.24. So you got about 90 seconds left on this candle. Let's see how it closes. See how it closes. Been a good day so far. Been a good day. I've missed my partner in crime, Monty, out there. Hope you're relaxing, golfing, enjoying, getting all the ladies, all the fun stuff. Um, Yesterday we did an FOMC conference stream, just me, and I really enjoyed that. I really like being able to stream JPow and then give kind of my live commentary via the text bubbles. I think we'll do that every time now. We had enough insight there to provide to help people. 30 seconds left on this candle. You see it wick right back up to the top of the zone, 58.50. Let's see if it can close above the zone. Calls and puts. Calls are kind of dropping here. Puts kind of hanging out above the zero line. Volume's starting to calm down. So, yeah. Let's see if there's any continuation to this little move down. It's going to close. 3, 2, 1. Close below the zone. So, does it have enough drop in it, if you will, enough selling pressure to get maybe to that 57.50 area? Again, we're not looking for a play just yet. Potentially could see a bounce here, but 10-minute candles, how does it close? So if you're following that, you could still get the 10-minute to close above the 58.50 level. So we're just keeping an eye on that. But that was a move up. So there is going to be some sort of breather period, whether that's for 5 points, 10 points, 20 points, whatever it may be. There's going to be a breather period at some point. I'm not saying it's now, but it does look like it wants to take a little chill break. It's down about 10 points from its recent high on that previous candle. So, again, not rushing into anything. It's very hard to do that, not rush into stuff when thing is moving, and you feel like you missed it. But if you joined us early in the stream, I told you, you break VWAP, you got a shot to run. You break the 200, you got a shot to run. On the 5-minute chart, you could see where this was the trade right here. You broke VWAP, you came back, retested it, and then you saw this wick. You could have even entered here. Even if you entered at the top of here, 57.26, you got 40 points out of it if you trailed it up. So the moves have been massive. It's best to wait for as much confirmation as possible. My entry here was the break above this kind of imaginary zone we had here. And once we did, we kind of broke it, came back, and then we broke it again, and then it was off to the races. And that was happy. Happy as could be. Howie was earlier. He was on the 5-day moving average, which is right about here. The 5-day on this just doesn't update properly, which I don't like. But we are getting a little bit of a little wick forming. This yellow line is point of control. This is where all the volume is at this particular price action based on the chart. So this is where the demand, quote unquote, has been. So if you break this, you got, fast, could potentially move fast and get into this kind of valley here in the 30s. So we just keep an eye on it, watch it. But so far, it is holding above the 8 on the 5-minute chart. That's this, but a lot of time left in the candle, 2 minutes, and it's about almost 2 minutes to the top of the hour. I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay. I've been streaming for about 90 minutes. It's been fun. If you are here, say hello. See if I can keep more energy and keep it going. Um, yeah. Another message. Boop, 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 boop. 57, 54, 50. It looks like this candle is showing a little bit of that continuation to the downside. So again, not hurry. I'm in no rush to do any sort of shorts or any of that. The trend is too strong. The move was too strong. Could have made money, of course. It's just that's hard mode, and I'm not in it for hard mode. I'm trying to do easy mode, especially with an account that got beaten to hell. But I am proud that account's back up to 181 bucks. Made 150 on it today, so if I see something that can get me that extra 50 to push it over the 200 mark, that would be great. If I don't, then that also is fine. Objectively, you're getting a little MACD, starting to see the MACD kind of curl down. Your momentum is starting to stall a bit, and obviously you can see that in the chart, but your volume here, right? You see your red candles was bigger than this green candle. So your volume is increasing on the move down. Now, that doesn't mean this can't pop right back up, but it is holding the 8. It is finding some support there. So is the volume coming in at the 8 to push it up, or is the volume coming in at the top to push it down? That is always the question. It does look like we are getting a bit of a cool off. So what do we want to look for? What do we want to look for? 5740 could be your next kind of move quickly down. Definitely have support at around the 5730 area. So about 5730, that's 20 points away. If you get all the way down there, I think you gotta see some support. Maybe try for another long. So that's VWAP. That's 200. That's 21. I mean, it's all dancing right there. So um, you could see that happen. But again, I mean, you could take a short here. It's not a bad spot now. You're getting a little bit of confirmation here. Basically, the play would be take a short and then put your stop above the 8 because if it reclaims the 8, you're toast anyway. So, not saying do that. I'm just pointing out potential plays, but that's if you're looking for trouble. Hard mode, if you will. Puts a rise in calls are kind of stagnant. A little downtrend, a little uptick here in calls that we just saw live on the stream. Volume with the slight tick. So you're at 5740, 5749. Tesla's gone red by a penny, which is nothing, just flat. So let's take a look at Mad 7. Ooh. Apple matching ES, not a good chart. Video looks like it's on its way down. Microsoft's definitely on its way down. Mag 7 is showing what ES is showing, which means Mag 7's in control today. So if you get the weakness in those, obviously they're all big enough individually to make a move down, but when they all do it at the same time, that's gonna bring us down. But the moral of the story here, guys, is the zone, right? If you were long anywhere in this zone, you have to look at the top of this zone as like that's enough. And then you get a breakout, you get a close, but you never got that breakout retest and bounce. So once we retested it again, it failed to find support. So now it's starting to come down a bit. It doesn't mean it can't turn around and just go right back up, but this is why we have these zones on our chart. You have to have some guidelines. Because as bullish as I was going into it, I was bullish down here. When we have our kind of measured move for a day trade, I mean, that is glorious when it happens, but you have to recognize that that's the move and start to de-risk, start to put your stops in. Don't get too greedy. I mean, I sold down here. I missed a good 30 points additional on the move. but I kept my stop where it was. I honored it, and then I didn't chase the move up to the zone, which I probably should have, but just, every minute goes by. It's not a missed opportunity. It's just more data that you can use to make your next move. And you see, you got this wick forming at the bottom of this ribbon. So 57.47 right now seems to be holding up, but we sit and wait. See what the market gives us. If anybody's out there, say hello. If not, no worries. Hopefully you all are making money. Hopefully you all are having a good day. And if you're not having a good day, that's okay. Take a breather, take a step back, pop a Zen, chew some tobacco, do whatever you gotta do. Let's see. It's holding that level. Holding that level. I like that wick off of this. And you can see where they're trying to defend it, because if you get basically below 57.40, it can drop 10 more points pretty rapidly. So you're in the zone. Tied. Getting a push up and call premium. Volume's pretty stagnated. Yeah, there's no trade for me here. All right, guys. I think I've done my duty. I wanted to fill out a bracket, but gosh, I'm tired. Yeah, I'll fill out a bracket real quick. Let's fill out a bracket real quick. How about it? It's happy college basketball day. They all start in like 30 minutes, an hour. All right, let's do this. Auburn, yay. ACC bias for me? Sure. Auburn goes. Michigan, even though Texas A&M. I like Texas A&M. Actually, I like Michigan there. Ole Miss, can't go against Monty. Iowa State, dangerous team. Marquette, New Mexico. I like Marquette. And Michigan State. We're going to go the upset with Ole Miss. Say Auburn. We're going to go an all SEC. Elite Eight. Actually, no, I'm going to go Michigan State there. Sorry, Monty. We'll go Auburn. We're going to push it up. We had Duke, Mississippi State, Baylor, Duke, Baylor, Oregon, Liberty. I like Liberty. Arizona versus Akron, Arizona, BYU, the Mormons, VCU. I can't bet against the Mormons. Wisconsin, Montana, Wisconsin, St. Mary's, Vandy. Ooh. St. Mary's, even though I'm going to regret that one. Bama, Whiskey. You know what? I'm going to go with the Mormons. Let's stick it. I've picked against them twice. Upset, Liberty beats Arizona. Duke. Bama, Duke. That's 2 number 1 seeds. It means I can't do it over here. Houston, Zags. Ooh, McNeese State's good. Clemson, only because McNeese State's coach got the NC State job, so I think he's distracted. Purdue, Xavier, Illinois. Xavier looked pretty good second half yesterday against Texas. I'm going to still go Illinois. I like Kentucky. Mick Cronin, UCLA, like them. Tennessee, Illinois, Tennessee, Purdue, Houston, Tennessee. Florida, no doubt. UConn, Oklahoma, Memphis, Colorado State, Memphis. I'm going to go Grand Canyon with the upset. I'm going to go Drake with the upset. Texas Tech. Go Arkansas with the upset. I haven't looked at the lines, but I'm pretty sure it's an upset. St. John's. I'm going to do Drake. I'm going to regret that one, but that's okay. Memphis, Florida, Johns, Florida. Auburn, Florida. We're going to do Florida. We're going to do Tennessee. Tennessee is going to be my national title champion. How many total points will we score in the national championship game? I guess 161. Sure, enter. Sure, spam my email. And Submit bracket. There you guys go. You got a live bracket. Tennessee's gonna win it. I ain't filling that out with you guys watching. Push up on ES, so it is holding the bottom of that ribbon. I don't like this though. That volume. See your selling volume was increased here, but that could have been on the buying side. I wasn't looking because I was distracted. Get a close above the 8 here, though. It is not a terrible look for a long. Looking for trouble. I'm not doing it. All right, guys. That's for me on the stream. Appreciate everybody watching. For the two of you that are still here, really appreciate it. Shout out to Axel, new guy, asking questions. Really appreciate it. Never be shy to ask any questions. We'll do our best to answer it. Blue Dogs, thanks for posting the morning. As always, Howie, the gang, Roy Easy, if you're here, everybody, we appreciate it. We will be back Monday streaming with. Oh no, I think Monty won't be streaming Monday, so it'll just be me again. So you guys get another Roy show. You enjoy that. I know you love it. Ratings through the roof. All right, guys, have a good weekend. Talk with you on the Discord if you're in there. If not, leave a comment on the video if you want me to answer any questions. We'll be more than happy to do so. I do check the YouTube comments on the videos after we've released. But that's all I've got today, guys. Enjoy. Stay safe. Trade safe. Have fun. Bye. Oh, I pushed the wrong button. And there it is. Bye, guys.